She asked me to film her while she opened birthday gifts with her friends. When she got to mine, she pulled it out, looked inside, and said, "Seriously? This is it?" Then laughed and added, "My expectations were low, but this is actually pathetic." One of her friends chuckled and said, "At least he tried kinda." I just pointed to the door and said, "Get out of my house." 1 week later, she showed up at my door begging me to talk. "Before we start, I just want to say thank you for being here. It means the world. But take a look at this. Only 8% of people watching are subscribed. If you enjoy these stories and want to support more of them, just one click makes a huge difference." So I really didn't think I'd ever be posting here, but after the insanity of the past month, I need to share this with someone. Even if it's just internet strangers who probably think I'm making it up. I'm not. I wish I was. Some background. I, 32, had been dating Selena, 29F, for about 8 months. We met through a mutual friend at a local art show, hit it off, and things progressed pretty naturally from there. She was funny, creative, ambitious. Exactly the kind of person I'm drawn to. She worked in marketing for a local startup, and I own a small but successful custom woodworking business relevant later. Things were going well, or so I thought. We spent most weekends together, had met each other's friends, and were in that comfortable groove of a relationship that's past the honeymoon phase, but still exciting. At least that's where I thought we were. Her birthday was coming up and she decided to have a small get-together at my place. Just her 5 closest friends. My house is bigger than her apartment and I have a nice backyard with a fire pit, so it made sense. I was happy to host. I spent the day cleaning, setting up the outdoor area with string lights, getting snacks and drinks ready, the whole 9 yards. The gift I got her wasn't extravagant in terms of cost, but it was thoughtful, or at least I thought so. Selena had mentioned a few times that she wished she had a better way to organize her jewelry. She traveled a lot for work and was always complaining about tangled necklaces and lost earrings. So I made her a custom travel jewelry box from reclaimed wood that came from her favorite local brewery. When they renovated, I'd done some work for them and kept some of the materials. It had her initials inlaid in a different wood, special compartments for different types of jewelry, and a hidden drawer with a custom lock that you open by pressing specific spots in a certain order. It took me about 3 weeks to design and build. Her friends arrived around 7 and everything was going great. Drinks were flowing, music was playing, everyone was having a good time. Then came time for gifts. Selena asked me to film while she opened them, saying she wanted to remember everyone's reactions and might use clips for her Instagram. No big deal. I grabbed my phone and started recording. Her friends' gifts were pretty standard birthday stuff, expensive candles, a designer scarf, gift cards to places she liked, a nice bottle of tequila. She was appropriately appreciative of each one, making a big show of how perfect each gift was. Then she got to mine. The box itself was pretty simple, just a natural wood finish with a small bow. She picked it up, seemed surprised by the weight, and then opened it. The look on her face, I'll never forget it. It wasn't disappointment, it was disdain. "Seriously, this is it?" she said, holding up the jewelry box like it was a dead rat. I was still filming, completely frozen. Then she laughed and added, "My expectations were low, but this is actually pathetic." One of her friends, I think it was Megan, chuckled and said, "At least he tried." Kinda. Another friend looked embarrassed and tried to salvage the moment. "It looks handmade." "That's sweet." Selena rolled her eyes. "Yeah. I guess it's the thought that counts, although not much thought went into this." She set it aside and reached for the tequila her other friend had brought. "This is more like it. Who needs a shot?" I stopped recording. The whole time I hadn't said a word, just stood there holding my phone while my girlfriend and her friends mocked something I'd poured my heart into making for her. I walked over, picked up the jewelry box, and put it back in its gift bag. Then I just pointed to the door and said, "Get out of my house." Selena looked at me like I was speaking another language. "What? Come on. Don't be so sensitive. I'm not joking. All of you, leave now." Her friends started gathering their things, clearly uncomfortable. Selena didn't move. "You're seriously kicking everyone out because you can't take a joke. It's just a box, Jake. Just a box that took me 3 weeks to make. The wood is from Harper's Brewery, your favorite place. I designed it specifically for when you travel. It has your initials and a hidden compartment with a custom lock, but you didn't even bother to look at it before deciding it wasn't good enough. Her face changed as she realized what she'd done, but I was beyond caring. Leave the gifts. They were opened in my house. They can stay in my house, including the tequila you're so excited about. That got her attention. You can't keep our stuff. Watch me. You have 60 seconds to get out before I call the police and report trespassers. They left. I closed the door, locked it, turned off my phone, and sat in the silence of my living room surrounded by birthday decorations and half-eaten snacks. The next morning, I had 37 missed calls from Selena, a dozen texts, and a couple of voicemails where she alternated between apologizing and telling me I was overreacting. I ignored all of it. I needed time to think. What bothered me most wasn't just her reaction to the gift. It was the glimpse into who she really was when she thought she could get away with it. The casual cruelty, the way her friends participated like they'd done this before. The fact that she was filming it for social media made it even worse. I spent the weekend cleaning up, putting away the party stuff, and thinking. By Monday, I decided the relationship was over. I texted her a simple message. We're done. I'll box up anything you left at my place. You can pick it up from the front porch next weekend. Then I blocked her number. But here's where things get interesting and where my petty revenge comes in. Remember how I said I own a custom woodworking business? Well, Selena's startup had hired me about 2 months ago to design and build custom display units for their office remodel and upcoming industry showcase. The contract was worth about $15. Not huge, but definitely one of my bigger projects for the year. I'd already received a 30% deposit and had drawn up the designs, but hadn't started building yet. The contract had a clause stating that in the event of irreconcilable personal differences between parties, either side could terminate with proper notice. It was actually Selena who had insisted on adding that clause, saying it was just business sense to have an out if things went south between us. Monday morning, I sent an email to Selena's boss, who was my actual client contact. Dear Jennifer, due to irreconcilable personal differences that have arisen between myself and Selena, I regretfully need to terminate our contract per Section 5.2. I'm happy to refund the deposit in full and can recommend several other craftsmen who might be able to take on the project at short notice. Sincerely, Jake. Jennifer called me within an hour, clearly confused. I explained that Selena and I had been dating, but were no longer together, and I didn't feel comfortable continuing the professional relationship. I didn't give details about what happened. Just said it was a personal matter. Jennifer seemed disappointed, but understanding and thanked me for the referrals. I didn't hear anything more about it for a few days, which was fine by me. I refunded their deposit and moved on with my life. Then, exactly 1 week after the birthday disaster, Selena showed up at my door. She looked terrible. Puffy eyes, messy hair, none of her usual perfectly put together appearance. When I opened the door, security chain still on, she immediately started crying. Jake, please. I need to talk to you. I'm so sorry about the birthday thing. I don't know what got into me. Please just let me explain. I didn't invite her in, but I did ask. Did Jennifer talk to you about the contract? Her expression changed instantly. Yes. You can't do that to me, Jake. That showcase is huge for our company, and I was the one who brought you in. Jennifer is furious with me. My job is literally on the line here. And there it was, the real reason for her visit. Not to genuinely apologize, but because my decision had consequences for her career. That's unfortunate, I said calmly. But as your own contract clause states, either party can terminate due to personal differences. But we can work through this. It was just a stupid joke that went too far. I love the jewelry box really. It's beautiful. You haven't even seen it properly, I pointed out. You were too busy making fun of it to notice any of the details I just told you about. She wiped her eyes, clearly trying a different approach. I was just surprised. I don't know what I thought, but I'm truly sorry, Jake. Please reconsider the contract. If not for me, then for the rest of the team who didn't do anything wrong. I considered this for a moment. You know what? You're right. Your team shouldn't suffer because you're a terrible person. Her face lit up with hope. So here's what I'll do. I continued. I'll honor the contract on one condition. Anything. She said quickly. You publicly apologize. Same audience as the original insult. She looked confused. What do you mean? You mentioned wanting to put clips from your birthday on Instagram. Right. Instead, you post the full unedited video of you opening my gift and mocking it. You tag me and you include a genuine apology for your behavior. Do that and I'll complete the project for your company. The color drained from her face. I can't post that. Everyone will think I'm a horrible person. Funny how accurately social media would reflect reality in this case. Jake, be reasonable. That would be humiliating. More humiliating than being mocked in your own home after spending weeks creating something special for someone you cared about. She didn't have an answer for that. Those are my terms. Post the video with a real apology by midnight tonight, and I'll email Jennifer tomorrow morning saying I've reconsidered. Otherwise, find someone else to do your project. I started to close the door. Wait. She called. What about us? Can we at least talk about giving our relationship another chance? I laughed. Not meanly, just genuinely amused. There is no us, Selena. That ended the moment you decided it was okay to humiliate me for entertainment. The only thing we're discussing is a business arrangement. She left looking defeated. I honestly didn't think she'd do it. Posting that video would show everyone in her carefully curated social media life exactly who she was behind the filter. Her brand was all about positivity and appreciation. This would shatter that image. But at 11:58 p.m., my phone pinged with an Instagram notification. Selena had tagged me in a post. There it was. The unedited video of her opening my gift and reacting with disgust, followed by her friends' comments and my dead silence behind the camera. She'd added a long caption. This is the hardest thing I've ever posted. This video shows me at my absolute worst moment, and I'm sharing it not for sympathy, but because owning our mistakes is the only way to grow. This was Jake's handmade birthday gift to me, a beautiful custom jewelry box that I completely failed to appreciate. My reaction was cruel, thoughtless, and entirely about my own materialism rather than the incredible thought and craftsmanship that went into this gift. Jake, I am deeply sorry for hurting you and for not recognizing the value of something made with such care. To everyone else, let this be a reminder that gratitude and kindness matter more than any price tag. I stared at my phone for a long time. The comments were already pouring in, mostly people expressing shock at her behavior and praising her bravery for posting it. A few defending her, saying everyone makes mistakes. Her friends from the party were notably silent. The next morning, I emailed Jennifer. Dear Jennifer, after further consideration, I've decided I can continue with the project as originally planned. My personal feelings shouldn't impact our professional agreement. I'll begin work immediately and will have everything ready by the original deadline. Regards, Jake. She replied within minutes, thanking me profusely. She didn't mention Selena or the Instagram post, but I got the sense she'd seen it. I completed the project over the next few weeks. It was some of my best work. I'm professional enough not to deliberately do a bad job because of personal issues. When installation day came, I coordinated with Jennifer directly. Selena was nowhere to be seen. As I was packing up my tools, Jennifer finally addressed the elephant in the room. I saw the video, she said quietly. For what it's worth, that jewelry box was exquisite. Some people don't recognize quality when they see it. I just nodded and thanked her for her business. The industry showcase went well for them. I saw the photos online. My display units featured prominently with the company executives all posed proudly in front of them. Selena was in the background of one shot, looking uncomfortable. She tried contacting me a few more times after that, but I maintained my boundaries. The last I heard, she'd been passed over for a promotion she was expecting, and several of her friends from the birthday party had distanced themselves. As for the jewelry box, I kept it. It sits on my workbench now, reminding me that some gifts aren't meant to be given away, and that sometimes the most valuable thing you can craft is your own self-respect. The most satisfying revenge wasn't anything I actively did to Selena. It was simply creating a situation where she had to choose between her career and her pride, and then watching as she publicly revealed her true character in a desperate attempt to save face. No manipulation, no elaborate scheme, just holding up a mirror and letting her see what everyone else now sees. And honestly, that jewelry box looks better on my workbench anyway.